Our teams have just talked with multiple senators, including some supporters of Donald Trump. And while some may be waking up today hoping, wishing, praying yesterday never happened, the response publicly has been kind of tepid so far. You've got House Speaker Paul Ryan, who did say something short in 2 sentences, saying he's aware of that guilty plea but needs more info. As for his Senate counterpart, Mitch McConnell, nada, at least so far. The number 2 Republican in the Senate, John Cornyn, does tell us people who do bad things need to be held accountable. Was quick to add these convictions and pleas have nothing to do with Russia. NBC's Casey Hunt, I think, has her sneakers on today because I know she's been chasing some lawmakers around the halls of the Capitol. Casey, what have you heard from people who have historically supported Donald Trump? What's going on this morning?
Hallie, it's clear that this story does have something of a different tenor than some of the other conversations that we've had. And let me tell you, a lot of these members of Congress are really sick of all of us running after them in the hallways, asking about the latest Trump tweet.
But this is different, right?
This is something that is altogether different. Yes, exactly. And I spoke just briefly to Senator Toomey of Pennsylvania, who said this is very serious. This is not, something to be taken lightly. He said he wants to see the judicial process play out. And you've heard echoes of that from other Republicans who have been willing to support President Trump in other areas. Take a listen to what Senator Orrin Hatch said just a few minutes ago.
These are serious charges, and they can't be ignored.
Do you think it's high crimes and misdemeanors?
I wouldn't go that far just yet. So.
Do you think this opens up the president to being indicted while sitting in office? It's never been done.
No, I don't, because I don't think he can be indicted while sitting in office. But we'll just have to see where this all works out.
If anything, you heard a little bit of resignation in Orrin Hatch's voice there. This is a drama that Republicans are tired of having play out. Now, I will say on the flip side, Hallie, Democrats are obviously talking about how serious this is, but they are being very careful to avoid the I word, impeachment. I asked Elizabeth Warren about that earlier on Morning Joe. Take a look.
What I think we should be doing in Congress is we should be passing laws to make sure that Donald Trump cannot fire the special prosecutor. That's where the real threat is to Trump, and it's powerfully important that we protect that special prosecutor.
And that, of course, is a big question that Republicans could answer. Mitch McConnell could put such legislation on the floor. There are, of course, constitutional debates about exactly how it might work, but they could certainly send a signal. So far, they haven't done that. Hallie.
Casey Hunt, there on the Hill. Come back if you get more. Casey, thank you. Thank you for checking out our YouTube channel. Why don't you subscribe? It's really easy. Just click on that button down there. And for more news from MSNBC, click on any of these videos here for the latest interviews and highlights. You can get more videos from MSNBC with our newsletters. Head over to msnbc.com/newsletters to sign up.